Welcome back to Talking Dragon Age, the show where I talk about Dragon Age. Having finally finished my series on the Elven Gods, today we're doing something a lot simpler. Today I want to talk about the quest In Your Heart Shall Burn. This quest is easily in my top 2 favorite quests or missions in any game, ever. The only one that even rivals it is Halo 3's The Covenant. I'm not sure which one claims the number 1 spot because they are so close. I have no idea what the rest of my top 10 would be because just about any other quest or mission I can think of pales in comparison to those two. I think the only one that comes close in the number 3 spot is Half-Life 2's We Don't Go to Ravenholm. Oof, that's a good one too. So what makes this mission so special? Let's start from the beginning. We seal the breach. Every time I play through this, I think, well, that was easy. I expected more of an assault on the ruins of the temple where you fight through a ton of demons, but if that had happened, I do think it would have taken away from what we actually did get. Because going right from that back to Haven would just be a lot of fighting for quite a while. So I'm okay with it as it is. So after that, you finally get a breather. You look at the Inquisition celebrating, and Cassandra says,
"This was a victory of Alliance, one of the few in recent memory. With the breach closed, that Alliance will need new focus."
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. All of a sudden you're under attack from a massive army of unknown enemies. Awesome. Even if that anonymity only lasts like 20 seconds. Now, I wholeheartedly say Cole's introduction at Haven is way better than at Theronfall, and his entry and involvement in this quest is just better than Dorian's. Not that Dorian's is bad by any means, it's just that I like Cole's better. And that's one more reason to side with the mages. Not to mention, Cullen rallying the troops, addressing the mages, and fighting alongside them, it's simply terrific. But before that, we have Cole giving this wonderful explanation for what's going on.
I'm Cole. I came to warn you, to help. People are coming to hurt you. You probably already know.
What is this? What's going on?
The Templars come to kill you.
God, it's so great. And here's my one real complaint about this mission.
I know that man. This elder.
There is no freaking way he sees this is Samson from all the way down here, alright? Even with perfect eyesight, no way he can make out any distinguishing features. But then he gives his quick and decisive speech, jazzing me up so much, I can't really care too much about that. I just find it kind of funny. Now, you may expect me to complain about Corypheus as well, and... See, I got his attack kinda spoiled for me, which sucked. And I played Legacy, so it's hard for me to take a stance on his introduction. I think his presence in the game doesn't get to be a problem until Hawke shows up. If it was just Corypheus alone, I don't think there would have been much of a problem for people who didn't play Legacy. But this is just about his introduction. So, I try to imagine if it had been a different Sidereal Magister, and I think it works, but then again, I know the story. So for newcomers, I can't really say. Anyway, now we're fighting totally new enemies, twisted forms of Templars, we barely know what's going on, this is so cool. Then we cause an avalanche and get some wicked music to accompany it. Celebrate, oh no, dragon. Run all over the town, save as many people as you can. They're winning, but they're gonna have to work for it. Get to the Chantry, get another awesome scene for both Cullen and Cole, and even Roderick. Get out there, distract them, and deal one last decisive blow while the people escape. Let me tell you, it is extremely difficult to write a losing battle, where you're just barely hanging on, and the protagonist does lose at the end, but still lives. That is such a hard thing to write, especially in a video game, and they nailed it. Most games would force something like that into a cutscene, but here, you are in the action, you are fighting, and you are losing. And they knocked it out of the park. I think that is one of the biggest things that makes this mission so impactful for me. Now, we defend and ready the trebuchet, we send our companions off to follow the rest of the town, and we get that badass entry for Corypheus. Explosion. Everything goes silent, and we get the music slowly building in the background as he walks through the fire. His dragon comes down and blocks the entrance, and you have this great dialogue. Whatever you think of Corypheus as a villain, you have to admit this scene is amazing. And while I preferred his legacy voice, the voice actor still did a tremendous job. And here we get him trying to remove the anchor, and we really get a sense of how painful this is. I love this shot of the Inquisitor on their knees, giant dragon hovering over them while Corypheus does his thing. We are at our lowest, completely at his mercy. He picks us up, we get a sense of his size, he gives that incredible short monologue about his history and his plan, perfectly showcasing his arrogance, but also his power and his bitterness. Jackdaw has talked about how Corypheus was done a disservice in the game because his story is really good, but it wasn't showcased enough in the game. But just taking this scene as it is, again, you can't tell me this isn't awesome. So we cause another avalanche over Haven, sprint and fall into this cave. I think they could have done more with the animation here in addition to slowing our movement, but whatever. We go through the cave and out into the aftermath of such a huge avalanche. Only hearing the wind and snow and then some howling, you wander through some trees, stepping through deep snow in the middle of the night, very atmospheric, and they really capture what it's like for the Inquisitor wandering by themselves in the middle of nowhere, injured, cold, trying to find anyone. So we're desperate, and then you hear Cullen yelling, and you see the camp, you fall to your knees, so relieved. You finally made it. You wake up, still injured, talk to Mother Giselle about faith and stuff, you hear the leaders arguing, you see so many people around you confused and scared, and then we get the song. So a few people said they couldn't take it seriously. They say it's super corny, and it is, but that's okay because it's awesome. Once again, they nailed it. Suffer this major defeat, start singing this song about not losing hope while the people flock to their herald, their hero. You see Cole with Roderick as he finally passes away. You see Solas looking on. It's just such a beautiful scene. Then Mother Giselle has a line, and it changes depending on the conversation before. But for me, she says,
"Faith is made stronger by facing doubt. Untested, it is nothing."
And that is such a great quote. I find myself thinking about it a lot. For those who don't know, I am a Christian, and there is so much wisdom in this quote. I find it comforting, it brings me hope and courage, and it's in a video game. I'm not sure which of the writers wrote that, but let me say thank you. Actually, you know what? Thank you to everyone at Bioware. You guys have greatly affected my life for the better, and I could never thank you enough. So, back to the quest, we get this iconic scene by the blue flame, just you and Solas, just far enough away from the camp, and he gives you some more information, more wisdom. Even aside from who Solas actually is, and everything we know now, this scene, and his facial expression when the crowd is singing, it's simply perfect. And knowing what we know now only makes it that much better. Then we go and we find our new home. And this last look from him, again, you take it one way the first time, and on your next go-round it becomes something so much more. Now we're at Skyhold, people around you are smiling, you're fully healed, you're wearing pajamas, you're given some last words from Cassandra, you are presented with the title of Inquisitor, and everyone cheers for you. Hope reignited. This quest, from beginning to end, is delightful. The fact that you are actively participating in everything that happens, from the losing battle to wandering alone in the wilderness, feeling tense in the scene with Corypheus and feeling hope when you're crowned Inquisitor, fighting alongside the whole of the Inquisition against a new and unknown force, becoming the symbol of hope the Inquisition needs you to be. It is all masterful. The music perfectly accentuates what's going on. I adore how they drop it entirely when you're out in the wilderness and then talking to Giselle and then Solas. You get those perilous tracks during the battle, the jagged strings when talking to Corypheus, and then the more hopeful and triumphant tracks during the walk to Skyhold and becoming an Inquisitor. I could gush for a long time about how great this quest is, but I think I made my point. So let me know what you guys think about all this. What are some of your favorite quests or missions, both in Dragon Age and beyond? So that's it for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and like, and remember, Tala Nadas.